Oh, this is for the sippers.
Yeah, we sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah, we sipping in conversation. What's good, Simples? This is your boy Buddha, and over there is a lovely
Baby.
And we coming to you live with another rendition of Sippin and Conversation.
Conversations. Oh.
Get it all out, baby.
I be doing the most.
Hey, sometimes.
I do. Sometimes. You right, because most of the time I let you be great.
Yeah, lately you
and then I be like, now you being real great. Like your greatness is all over the greatness. I'm trying not to let it be too much in the screen, but it's all good. Listen. Welcome back, old sippers, and hello to the new sippers. You heard your boy. You are now tuned in to Sippin and Conversations with Buddha and Baby, and we are here. Okay? We about to do this tonight. As per usual.
So, baby, how was your day?
It was a great day to be great. I thought I wasn't gonna make it through, but
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Once you pull in, you be ready. So that's what I did. I just hey now, you a rock star.
Oh, that's what you did?
Sometimes you gotta tell yourself different things to make yourself be, in your find your greatness. Okay, the full throttle of it. But listen, Linda. Quick recap. Last week, what we talked about?
What we talked about?
Huh? Minding your own business.
You see how I did that? What we talked about? I ain't want to tell y'all.
Minding your own business. Well. So, before I get into that, what I'm going to do is we have a special guest tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to pull the special guest on early because I want to just ask them. We'll you get into the intro and whatnot, but we're going to bring our special guest in.
Early?
Oh,
this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Because what I want to do is see what the special guest says about this.
Okay.
My man.
Sure I got my volume. I know you can hear me, but I want to make sure I hear you.
How you doing, Babi?
All right.
What's up, my man? What's good? How you doing?
Oh, my man. Well, can I give him an intro, baby? Can I at least do that for him?
No, not yet.
Not yet. All right.
Oh, not yet.
Oh, okay.
So this is our special guest, and he has a name.
Mm-hmm.
However, special guest.
Yeah.
That's what you gonna say at first?
What do you, when you see this about, minding your own business, do you mind your own business first of all?
I try to, unless people that I love are getting hurt, then I might step out of my lane.
Oh, okay.
So
but
essentially,
for the most part, I let people be who they are.
Take who they are.
I like personality, so I let people, be their best and worst self. I want to see it all. But if their actions are hurting people around me that I love, then I might come out and get involved in something that I normally would not. But for the most part, I take them as they come.
Okay.
I got issues, so don't judge me. I won't judge you.
We all got our own flaws, right?
Right.
Okay.
I touch hers all the time. She like,
Yeah.
So for me, I think it pretty much what you say. It's like a level of discernment that I try to put into it, depending on to whom it may concern and how it directly or indirectly impact me or mine. Okay,
Mhm.
which will include, but then there are certain businesses, that you get pulled into, and then so then you start getting invested in it, and then they be like, well, I didn't ask you. I mean, but I've been here the whole ride.
Can I
So
comment? Can I comment on that? Not to cut
yes,
you off, because that's a very good point that you just raised. Uh, I was I was telling my fiance the other day. I was telling her, you can't raise somebody up too far or pull them down too much without them resenting you at some point. Like you can help people, but if you help them too much, they'll resent you for helping them too much. And if you pull them down too much, then they'll resent you for pulling them down. Pull them off the cloud. Even though you're trying to help them, like, hey, chill. You're kind of crazy out there. You try to pull them back. You know, they can resent you for that too. So you kind of find the balance on how much you try to get involved in people. But at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do, love who they love, and nothing you say matters. You're really just there to vent. For them to vent and listen, and you can give your 2 cents, but it's just that 2 cents.
and it's funny you said that because one of our guests last week said, mentioned about sometimes all they want you to be is a listening ear. They just want to vent,
Yeah, it's one
you
event.
know. But it gets to be that slippery slope, like I said, because if they've been coming to you for your advice and things like that, so and then all of a sudden now they just want to vent. So you a behavior patterns have been created. A behavior has been created for you to respond and things like that a certain way, and then you do what you normally do, but this ain't the day they want you to do it.
Yeah. Well, you say that. So my best friend, Mark Burks, give him a shout out, Mark Burks. He always say, I'm with you, right or wrong, I'm with you. If you're wrong, we're gonna ride together and be wrong together, but I'm gonna cuss you out like the whole time. Like I'm gonna tell you, when you're right or wrong, but I'm still gonna go with you. But you're still gonna do what you want to do. Like it doesn't matter, what I say. Most people aren't gonna listen to the person they're venting to unless they're their best friend. If it ain't your best friend or your parents, somebody that you respect on a different level, you're not gonna take their advice. You're gonna go home and do what you're gonna do. It
Hell,
might be their advice.
even
Yeah.
then, they'll go on social media and get all the social media people's input.
Uh, Popular opinion don't make you right.
I get it, but we in that day and age.
I
So
don't.
that was just,
Yeah.
my input, and I wanted to get your input on it. And so,
No, it's
Buddha,
good.
you got your final thoughts.
All right. I mean, everybody's right. Nobody's really wrong in this situation. I think my issue is when you do get into the fact of not minding your business. Like you say girlfriend, sister, family members, they get into it with their significant others, right? And
That's
then
the
they
worst.
calling on big bro to come through this bit and
You're gonna get you're gonna
tell
get
them
big bruh messed up. You're gonna
exactly.
get big bruh hurt coming over here.
Then you do exactly what you do.
No,
You might
I
end up
stopped
ending up
fighting
in
my
jail on that.
I stopped fighting my sister's boyfriends at like 15 years old. I got 3 sisters. I stopped fighting their boyfriends at like 15 because they get back together. They calling me fight this dude, and then and then they back together the next day. So
Okay.
it ain't ain't
That
even no point in doing that.
that's hard, man. That's hard. That's hard. That's a hard lesson that you got
Man,
to learn right there.
yeah,
You
man.
definitely got to learn.
A lot of women though, and men do it too, but you can never ask your girlfriend about your relationship. Never take their advice ever, ever, ever. If you listen, never do that because a lot of them are glad you have your problems. Little nosy, little nibby. Little jealous, little lonely. Want you to be lonely too.
Mm-hmm.
Misery
Yeah.
love company. Yeah, don't
Look,
don't listen.
look, nah, but I ain't gonna lie. Every now and then, I don't want to be in the mess, but I'm that person that's sitting over there. What y'all say? You know what I'm saying? Just have a little balance. Let your
Okay.
girl a little balance, but
That's cool. And then you and Buddha go home and talk about it. That's
right.
cool.
Will do.
But But you ain't got to put it on social media or nothing. But you can go
That's
home and
it.
laugh,
It don't
you
go
know,
nowhere else. It's right
or
there.
right there, or at least learn from it. Like, I'm glad we ain't like that, baby. Or or when that comes up in your relationship, then you can say, pull from that experience and be like, look what happened to them because they were acting like this. Let's correct that and
Right. We can't do that.
talk. Yeah, talk.
And we do. That's what's so funny. We actually do.
Well, hold on.
What?
We do from my perspective.
Yeah,
Her ass over here with her friends, she ironclad, but I can't let you know.
Oh,
we talk. I'm just not. There's certain things.
She shouldn't
I'm a
tell
really
you.
loyal person with people's information.
Yes, she shouldn't tell you.
And
right.
And I respect that. And I taught him. I won't say taught him. I created that atmosphere from the beginning. Why? Because we gotta have. It's not like now. If it was detrimental, then of course I'm gonna pull him in. And usually, if it's something where I need to really possibly pull him in, I've already informed them.
True.
They already know.
No, it's that you're going to tell him. Yeah,
that I'm probably gonna have to talk to Buddha about this, And then
yeah,
he'll say, "Well,
sure.
I thought you was already doing that." No. And so they know that everybody that pretty much tell me something, it don't even, and it's not even part of our pillow talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Buddha, you shouldn't even want to know. So you can claim deniability. I didn't know anything about it.
I don't ask.
You shouldn't.
Don't say nothing. See, I be like, hey, what's going on? Based on who fucked up. If I'm gonna go get the information.
Right. You just don't want to leak all over you because it starts to leak into your relationship when you know too much about other people's problems. You just start manifesting problems in your own life for no reason.
Facts.
So I don't even want to know unless it affects me directly or I'm like present in the moment or you want to vent that to me because you need advice on what to tell them. Then I'll get involved. But other than like asking,
let's give an example of not minding your business, giving you a good, with a positive outlook on that. Like not minding our business with George Floyd, right? With that whole situation, be catapulted to where it's at right now. You see what I'm saying? Because we stuck our nose in there, and things started moving and shaking.
Right.
What do you mean? You stuck your nose in the joint? As black people?
As black people, yeah.
Well, I think it wasn't just honestly in that case.
Well,
more than that, but it was a public. It was
I see.
Like public information.
That's kind of different, man. That's national news. We didn't live, up there. That reached us wherever we was at because that's something that's been going on. We didn't ask for that. We didn't stick our nose in that. That came and found us.
I kind of think we did because if somebody didn't film it, right? Somebody didn't have the wherewithal to film it and then blast it worldwide, we wouldn't even have had that knowledge. It'd have been just another day at the office.
But thank God they did.
Yes,
right.
Sure.
And that situation goes back to my original point where somebody that or care about is getting hurt.
Right.
Then you cross that line. Well, George Floyd represent me, you.
Right.
Your kids, your son. As a people, it represented all of us. So.
Now it's time to mind somebody else's business.
Yeah, I'm glad that those things are being documented and shown because I gotta get in my car and drive, and I could have easily been George Floyd several times in my life.
Yeah.
Especially growing up in Indiana, it's a lot different than Florida, than Orlando. It's a lot different, growing up here. So I'm glad that this stuff's being documented and shown, and at least even if the people aren't being held accountable to level that we want, at least it's out there and people see it. And there's some growth to like at least the accountability part for it. So I'm glad that happened. But that's people getting hurt though. Now a traffic stop, I don't care about the traffic stop. Get out of my business.
You're right. I was just, kind of illustrating where people exactly getting into the business benefited us as a culture in a way.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. I agree with you.
Absolutely. From that angle, yeah.
That is a time to get in somebody else's business when you see that happen. You see somebody getting hurt, robbed, stolen, killed.
I wish somebody would have did something before. I don't care if they would have went to jail. They pushed the officer up. He might be still living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But then
Maybe
it could have been another injured person. It just all kind of stuff,
Well, that's my mentality. Didn't know everybody film Rodney King with a camera phone or something. Didn't nobody jump in and do that,
Exactly.
Right, racism.
Even now, people
Police,
dying. They film people dying and not
police brutality, and is just being, like Will Smith said. What he say is just being recorded now. That's the difference between now and then. Now it's just getting taped, So something like that. Bad paraphrase, but
you hit it on the head.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So we're gonna take a quick break. And then we're gonna come back and we'll let you all know who our special guest is.
Oh, okay.
Give a shout out to my folks here,
So, hey,
real quick. Hey, thank y'all so much. I'm so proud of y'all, and thank y'all for having me on y'all platform.
Let me see if I can make it be just you. Hold on, I'm gonna make it be just you so you can show it again. See if I can get it in there. I don't know why I'm having the most difficult time. I want to make it blow up in there. Oh, duh.
There you go.
I was picking the wrong one.
Hey, that's pronounced commodity. KMDT Design Group.
Oh, okay.
My homeboys up here. They do logos, t-shirts, uniform clothing design, advertising, whatever you need. And then my little brother got Cigar Noir. He got a cigar club that's fresh. You can go in there and he take your pictures and pimp you out with your cigars. Hey, and my cousin got John Tom's barbecue sauce, #1 rated barbecue sauce in Indiana. It's fire.
That's what's up, man.
And then you play in the Supreme. Tone.
Yep.
The OG Tone. Everybody was laughing at Tone. We said we stand with Tone. Now Tone got the #1 league in the nation.
For sure.
In a year. And that talent, man. We beat a lot of that talent. So Yep. So shout out to that.
That's all right. That's what I'm talking about. You gonna come on here, you gonna give a shout out, you be ready.
Be real with it. Be real with it.
That's what's up.
Thank y'all.
No, I appreciate it. So we're just gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna let the people know who you be, who you is.
Let's do it.
So we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, this is for the simples.
Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation.
What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through, huh? What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl singing, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, come through.
What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl sipping, then bring her on through, huh? What it is, or what it do. If your homegirl singing, then bring her on through, baby.
What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, then gon' come through. What it is, what it do. If your homeboy sipping, come through.
We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation.
Real talk, real life, real people. Real talk, real life, real people. Hey, real talk, real life, real people. Real talk, real life, real people. Buddha and Baby.
Ha ha ha! Okay. without further ado, this is my time to shine. Baby, take a back seat.
I'm out of there.
Okay. How are we
Be
gonna
easy.
address this?
Be easy. Be easy.
I got you.
All
Hey,
right.
man. The first time I met this guy was on the flag football field, man. He was talking so much shit. You had to love him.
Or hate me.
That shit, he backed it up with them great ass hands and safety skills that he played back there, hawking that thing. That guy got you. But see, we got to talking, right? We got to talking, right? And he said something to me. I had to scratch my head. I said, huh? He told me he was an author. And what type of stuff he talked about? What did he write about? Horror novels. I said, now I done heard a lot of shit in my life. You know what I'm saying? I done heard a lot of shit in my life, but I ain't heard of a black man writing horror fiction novels, right?
Name one.
Silence. Silence. I got you now. I got you now. All right. So without further ado, my man, my friend, my comrade, D.E. Westbrook.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for.
Welcome to Sippin and Conversations, man. So my first question to me, where you from, man? Talk about where you from, where you came from.
All right. So I'm from the South Side, a little town called Muncie, Indiana, a little college town, about 45 minutes north of Indianapolis. Ball State University's there, which I attended. Played football there, 3-year starter. Went to Southside High School, man. Was an athlete, you know. Back then, it was like you either play ball or you rap. That's what you did. You know, it wasn't a whole lot of options. People weren't telling you to go and write books. I started writing. I attended a prep school when I was in elementary up to about 7th grade. And I started entering young authors contests in like 4th grade. And my 4th and 5th grade year, I won. And then my 6th grade year, I wrote a play for my English class. And we were rehearsing it. We were going to do it like for the 6th grade or whatever. But I was kind of bad and stole my sister's motorcycle, moped one day. She had a spree on Hondas, you know, and I stole it and got smacked by a car. I ran a stop sign, got smacked by a car. So I got like 4 lives left. I've spent like I probably died 5 times and made it. But my first life of my 9 was I got smacked by a car on a corner. I can't remember the name of the street, but I got smacked by a car, broke my leg, broke it like compound, like through the skin, flew across the street, hit the curb, spent probably 3 weeks in the hospital. But my 6th grade, and I missed the play, but my Miss Popovich, I never forget her. She was hippie. I gave her hell, but she loved me. And she talked the principal into putting that play on for the school. So even though I wasn't there, she put that play on in the auditorium for the whole school. My class did. Yeah. And then they all came and see me like after it was done in the hospital.
Oh.
And she was just like amazed at how well the play went over, written by me, and everybody loved it. And that's when I was like, you know, man, like maybe I can do something. But that wasn't cool, so I gravitated to poetry and rapping. You know. Then I came back. But to answer your question, I'm from Muncie, Indiana, man, the South Side, Rebels for life, 9 Deuce. Just small town kid, man. Just humble, play hard, but we fear nobody. And you know that about me. I don't care who you are, where you come from, what they said about you. You got to beat me today. You know, we had one basketball court, Heacon Park. We had one court, and we used to run home from school to get to that park because it was It was one court at the park, and if you lost, life went off at 11. If you lost at 4, you might as well go home. You might not even get back on the court. So you learn to win. You wanted to play some games, you had to win. Because wasn't nobody picking you back up if you lost. What? No, I got next. Nah, man, we 10 down. And I got 5 already. I'm an 8th guy down. I already got my 5. Lying, knowing damn well I don't. But you lost. I ain't picking your sorry ass up. Like, yeah,
That's a mentality, bro.
But that's how we grew up, man. Like we grew up like that. So when I play on my teams, and if my teams aren't like that, man, I got to change the culture. I don't fit in chaos. Like I'll help you, but if you ain't listening to me, I'm one and done. I got to move on. But if you guys, but if we playing the game the right way, executing, scoring points, playing defense, then I'll stick it out. If I got a bunch of individuals being selfish, then I can't. I can't do it. It's hard for me to follow that.
Next question.
Yeah.
I'm finding this off the dome. No book.
Go for me too, man. Me too. I'm drinking. I got me drinking. It's sipping.
A little shade over there.
I only have my books because I be doing creative questions.
Okay. Well, I want some of her questions too.
No, I ain't got the book. I'm letting him. He's steering today.
So, can you name a time in your life where your thought process and changing the narrative happened for you, from being a boy to becoming a man?
Man, it's funny because I actually thought that happened like 3 or 4 different times in my life. And each time the next one happened, I realized, man, I was still a boy. Mm-hmm. And the first time it happened, my cousin, rest in heaven, Ralph Book, he passed. And the way that he passed and the situation that was all about, that's the first time someone real close to me had died suddenly. And he was younger than me. So it kind of made me feel like, okay, I had to transition from I just broke my leg playing football my senior year. Real bad injury. They thought I wouldn't walk. Or I thought I have a limp. I would walk, but I have a limp. And I said, screw that. And I've been used to me, I'm running and everything now. But at that time, it was an identity crisis for me. And then my cousin passed, and it was like, okay, you got to grow up now. Like, you got to go back to where you came from and be involved. What you said, be in people's business. Then in the streets, you got to come out of this college athlete, do the right thing, focus, GPA. You can't be a thug with a GPA, by the way. But, you come back and you got to jump in because that's where you're from, And that's when I thought, okay, I'm going to grow up. But I'll be honest, man, my father just passed, so rest in heaven, David Westbrook Jr. And that's when the light switch went off for me, man. Like I live my life for experiences. Like I'm gonna go hard every day. Like I'm gonna party hard. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna play hard. Everything I do is gonna be 100%. We playing spades. I'm trying to win. You know what I mean? Like if we, how it is.
Yeah.
You know how I am. If we playing you, I want to run the score up on you. I don't want to beat you. I want to run the score up. I want to break the spirit and then make you scared to play us again. and then the team, but more importantly, the team to play us next week, look at that schedule and say, man, okay, who they play last week? And they see we played y'all and they barely beat y'all or lost to y'all, and we put 50 on y'all. So we already beat them as soon as they see the score. But if it's close, they're gonna come in the game thinking, okay, we got a chance because of common opponent. So I always run the score up. If we're better than you, run the score up. Don't say somebody suck. If somebody sucks, pad your stats. You know, I ain't gonna tell you you suck and these dudes be running around. Oh, you trash. No, no, no. Okay, if I'm trash, pad your stats on me. Cause what are you gonna do?
Then,
Yeah,
then,
you know what I'm saying. You gonna wait till the good team come to go off?
no.
Go off on the bad team too. That's when you know show your skills. So
Y'all ain't actually really out here being that competitive.
you have no idea. I I had never played flag football before I came to Orlando. Up here is basketball. Like if you can't hoop, you're a second class citizen up here. So it's like Indiana is the basketball mecca of the country. You know what I mean? So if you can't hoop here, yeah, okay. Like growing up, it was like nobody really knows who you are. You know, hangs with you, whatever. You got to do something else to stand out, which is probably it was either be a hooper or you was a doughboy. Those are the only two things growing up. You know, if you wasn't hooping, then you better have, you know, your hustle game better be nice.
Wow.
I
You
mean,
know,
that's where it is.
I
Everywhere
mean,
you go.
you know,
right.
so
But I guess that's the predominant. Well, I
yeah,
guess
but
for
but
me,
it's
I
like in our
just want to know
neighborhood.
what
So
made you get into
I can hoop
horror.
in a horror.
What made you get into writing horror stories?
Actually, so I'm gonna put that on like my cousin Summer Warren, my sister Davina Westbrook, love you. Um, my sister used to get Time Life books. Remember back in the day, you get Time Life books in the mail. She used to get Time Life books, and she would get every Stephen King book. So I started reading the first book that I ever read in its entirety was The Stand, and I read that as like a fifth grader. I read The Stand, and this book is huge. This book is like I don't even know, 1,000 pages back then. I can't remember. It was a big book, but I read it, and then after that, every couple of weeks, another one would come in, another one would come in. So I started reading them, and then I read Needful Things, and that book was like the most awesome story I'd ever read, like in my entire life. Uh, so from that, I started looking for different horror writers. Edgar Allan Poe came into play, really influenced me a whole lot. I was kind of a nerd, so I'd play like Dungeons and Dragons and like Warcraft and stuff, like the board game back then. So just rolling the dice with my birds friends. I used to do that. You do that too?
I still do.
Yeah.
I
So I used
still
to play
do.
that. So and I was always the dungeon master, so I had to make up the story, like what happened. But then the real thing that got me like so look, let me fun. But the real thing that got me into horror though, so I told you I have three sisters. So I'm like I have two older sisters and then I have a younger sister. So I'm kind of in the middle, and we're kind of spaced like 3-4 years apart. Like when one of us leaving high school, the next one's coming in. Kind of how we're spaced out. Uh, so my oldest two sisters were athletes, and my middle sister Shonda, she was just a dog. I mean, basketball. I mean, she dropped 40. She pulled her sleeve up. You'll see me on the flag field when I get pissed. I'll pull my one sleeve up when I'm ready to go in. I got that from my sister because when something happened in the ball game, she pulled that sleeve up, and that's when she take over and run off like 20 in a row. But they would have slumber parties with their sports teams. So I'd be in the house with like 10, 15 girls on the weekends. Yeah, I was, and I'm younger than them, but I'm like the cute little brother. So I'm like, you know, trying to
That's why I gave that look.
all of that. Yeah, I learned how to talk to women though from that at a young age. But they used to always rent horror movies, and back then you went to the video store and we ride our bikes down to the video store and just rent whatever horror movie we can get. You know, they rent 3 or 4 horror movies, and then they sit at home and they'd watch them overnight for their slumber parties, and they're all like screaming or whatever. So they're all scared. So I'm thinking I'm supposed to be scared. So by the time I got to be like, you know, by the time I got to be like 12, 13 years old, I wasn't scared anymore. I was intrigued. You know, I wanted to see what these monsters were and how are they going to die, and like that's stupid. Why is she running upstairs, and why is she not? leaving. Get the keys. They're right there. Just leave. You know, like I start questioning the movies, thinking I could write a better movie than that. But I fell in love with Jason Voorhees.
Ah.
Jason Voorhees is that's my spirit animal.
Okay.
Nah, this is vodka neat, Tone. Look, Tone trolling me. This is vodka neat, Tone.
Hey, what's going on, Tone?
You see?
Supreme, I got you.
Yeah. But Jason Voorhees, I wanted to create like my own Jason Voorhees. Like he was just like menacing, like just intense, violent. I'm coming, no matter what. I'm coming, and I just took that mentality. Like when I play sports, like I don't care how many times you beat me, like I'm coming. You can beat me the whole game. If I can get you on that fourth down on the last play and we win, it don't matter. You know, you gotta beat me every single play, do it again. Do it again. Do it again. I don't believe you. Do it again.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
let me answer this question now. If and when you experience writer's block, what's your go-to?
So me, that's a great question because that happens a lot. That blank screen when you first start, it's hard. You know, like me, I have to go away from it. I have to go focus on something else, like completely. Like I'll go play my video games. Uh, I'll write songs. I'll do poems. I expel a whole lot of creativity before I go to my book. Bless you. Before I go to my book, I'll expel a whole lot of creativity and energy other places just for the experience, even on the flag football field. You know, I'll burn that energy out on the football field or playing my video game. I'll binge. You know, I can play overnight, so I write overnight. I can't write in the daytime. I'm a midnight to 6 a.m. kind of person when it comes to writing.
So you sleep.
Yeah. Well, I that's good because I can't have you around in my space. So go to sleep. You know. But normally just like kind of like an advertiser. You know how they in their office they play with stuff and got toys. I got an inspiration wall. You know, I love music. Music is my go-to. That's my answer. Music, simply. I love music. The lyrics. You know, like today's music is catchy and some of the songs are good I like, but what'd you say? You know, and I like words. I consider myself a wordsmith. And if you're a wordsmith too, I can identify that in your lyrics. Back in the day, they used to put the lyrics on the inside of the tape case.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And we'd read that. So,
yeah.
so Nas instantly became my all-time favorite rapper because he put it was written. He put all the lyrics in there, and it was flawless.
You hear that, Tone? You hear that, Tone? He
Yeah.
said, nah, not Tupac.
Not Tupac. Not Tupac.
Are you left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed, but I broke my left wrist. I got sports injuries for days, but I broke my left wrist in high school, my senior year.
And just a lot of times, oftentimes I should say, I run across a lot of creative people that are left-handed. You know, it just, I don't know.
That's what you mean because the watch. People ask me why you wear your watch on your right hand. You know, if you're right-handed, and I just told me my left wrist is. I feel like it's a little bit smaller or something than my right wrist, so it just kind of flops around. I don't like it. You know, I'll wear a bracelet on my left wrist, but I like to have my watch in my right.
I do the same.
That's weird because I like my watch on my opposite hand. I don't usually look. I don't know. It's like I look opposite when I'm looking for my watch. So my watch is usually in, which is my smaller because it's my less dominant hand. So I'm not using it as much.
Definitely.
I was just asking, just out of curiosity. So one of our comments said, I feel that when you were speaking about the transitioning to the manhood, keep thinking you transition into real manhood a few times. So,
true.
You know, the fact that you thought you did it the first time, then you did it again the second time, and then you did it again. It's like, but you know, it kind of goes into there's levels in our lives where you should transition. You know, you should not be doing what you did when you were in your teens And then when you move into your 20s, you know, in your 30s, it's kind of like each level, you know, there's a new awakening in your life, you know, generally.
I look at it like a basketball game. You got 4 quarters, you know, and you usually and most good teams make a run at the end of each half, you know. So you in the second quarter, if you're a good team, you're going to run to close the gap or pull away before halftime. And then right when you start the third quarter, you come out with a barrage, you know, and then you finish the game with a barrage. So right now, I feel like I'm coming out in my third quarter. You know, I'm coming out in the third quarter right now. You know, I was down 10, right going to halftime, wanting to run, cut to 2 right before the half. You know, and now I'm trying to go on a 20-0 run right now. So, and y'all helping with that. So, thank y'all very much.
No problem. No, I'm glad.
What y'all sipping, by the way? It's the sipping and
conversation. Sipping and conversation.
I'm sipping on. I got beer today, not liquor today, because I got to go to work tomorrow. I want to be ease in and ease out.
Okay, that's what's up.
I'm on cognac.
Cognac, vodka, neat.
Okay.
That's what I got. Sippers, what you sipping on? You know what to do. Drop it down low. I know we jump right into it because we be wanting to make action. We got action. Okay.
One more. I got one last question. Then I want to ask you, how can they get a hold of you, your book, and all that. So, leaving the legacy, right, for the whole world to see. What does that look like for you? What is leaving the legacy? What you want people to know? D.E. Westbrook III by?
Honestly, man, like I just kind of asked myself that question recently. Speaking at a speaking engagement, I want people to think I was a good person, man. Honestly, good person, love his family, you know, try to do the right thing, try to atone for all his mistakes, never intentionally or willfully hurt or try to malign anyone. You know, I try to help. You know me, like I try to help people, man. Like even those teams I'm saying that we slaughter or run the score up, when the game's over, I'm gonna come over and say, look, next week do this and try this and give them this is what we do. You know, I'll give you some gems to make you more competitive because I don't want to beat you every time. There's no glory in low hanging fruit. You know, I want challenges. I created a lot of our competition, you know, just by helping them. So I want people to think, you know, I was humble, man, but I was creative and I was a honest sinner.
Honest sinner? That's great.
That's a new one. An honest sinner.
I was an honest sinner. I am what I am. But at the end of the day, you know, I was an author. I was a father. I was a brother. I was a son. I was a friend. You know, I was a good person. But you know, I know I'm polarizing. People love me and hate me for the same reason. You know, so I'm who I am, and I'm unapologetically who I am, and that's what allows me to get over that writer's block. Because at the end of the day, I'm writing what I want to see. Because I'm writing horror for horror fans by a horror fan. So if I think it's good and I want to see it, most horror fans will probably get a little bit of entertainment out of it. You know, and what you don't like, she might like.
Yeah.
You know, so you might be bitching about something I put in the book, and she listens to you like, man, I love that.
You need to trademark that right there.
Trademark what?
I write horror stories for horror fans by horror fans.
Oh, you trademark that?
You know what I'm saying? And so how can they reach you? Now the Sippers, whoever's watching this, whoever hears this, how can they reach you if they want to buy your book? Book you for an engagement, any of those things.
Right now you can reach me Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, D.E. Westbrook author. A lot of people have trouble finding me because I use my initials instead of my real name or my pen name. D.E. Westbrook author. I'm building a website and putting one together right now. Didn't really like the first one that I had, so I kind of tore it all down and I'm doing a new one now that my publisher is doing some different things and trying to work out getting an agent, picking one, everything. But dwestbrook.com. I'm D Westbrook author the third on Facebook. Also have the Tales of Avernus pages. If you search Tales of Avernus, hashtag Tales of Avernus, you'll get the 3 pages that I have on Facebook. Tales of Avernus Book 1, The Shoe Tree. Tales of Avernus Book 2, The Silent, my first novel that I'm proud of, my magnum opus. And iuniverse.com. You can search me there. That's where I prefer people to go, to iuniverse.com, because Amazon and Barnes and Noble be killing me with what they take. I'm paying for your shipping, so help me out because I'm independent.
And you said it's iUniverse?
iuniverse.com.
Okay.
That's my publisher.
Okay.
So you can go there directly.
Do you offer audiobooks, or you just straight read novels?
So I'm realizing. So at first, there was a gap between my first book and my second book because I was off in the flag football world for a long time, and I kind of stopped writing. Now I'm realizing I need an audiobook because people just don't read. Print media is kind of, that's when you read a book. I know I read when I can, but most men really don't. Women kind of read more, in my opinion. Maybe women read a little bit more than men do. So I write for women, by the way. I write the plot and the storyline of my novels for women, but the violence and the gore and the monsters are for the men. But, the man's going to take a woman to see the movie or get her the book, so she's going to get him to go. So once he's there, the violence and the gore is for him. But the plot and the storyline, that kind of thing, I write that for women. I feel the majority of my audience probably is women. So I do write for women, but I'm violent. My books are violent. They're not Twilight.
Good.
That's
They're violent.
Some audiobook just to hear a person telling that story.
So here's my question for you guys. So on the audiobook thing, this is what I need to know. Who would you want to hear read the audiobook? You want the author to read it? Because I've heard different opinions. You want the author to read it, or you want like someone else, like a third party, or like a voice actor or something?
I don't know your horror voice.
I can't get Morgan Freeman or somebody to read it, but I'm just saying, like, James Earl Jones is like, like shit.
It don't have to be Morgan Freeman, but I need somebody who, when I listen to audiobook, I need somebody who can
give me that feeling there.
Give me that feeling that you're there. Get the distinctive voices between different characters, so you can understand who who you can catch a personality by the tone of their voice and how they bring what the author says to life. You know what I'm saying? Not always, that's not always the author, because they so vested in everything, they may not be able to handle that. There's other people out there. Who can get
that's my question. Do you want the voice inflection? Do you want like different people, or you want one person reading the whole story? Do you want different voices for the characters? Like, because the audiobook,
one person can read the whole story, but they can be able to fluctuate their voices differently, and I can understand exactly who is talking, what person they're talking about by how they, present their character. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you want to convey emotion, or you want a textbook read? You want the emotion in the reader.
Right.
Whoever reads it, okay.
Like when I used to read to my daughters, I used to give them that energy.
Right.
I could be every character, and they're gonna know that whoever I'm speaking about was different from each other. You see what I'm saying? The same way.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, Facebook. Get at me. Facebook. D Westbrook, author. D Westbrook III, author on Facebook. Tales of Avernus book series. Book 1, The Shoe Tree. It's a great story. It's they're written completely different. The Shoe Tree is written in passive voice. It's more of a campfire story style. It's more haunting. Probably more scary than book 2, if I had to say. Book 2 though is like you hit the ground running. It's action packed. It's violence. The characters are more capable. They can fight back a little bit. But there's a lot of different monsters. I try to educate people on different monsters. And then that's book 2, The Silent, and then I'm right now in the works book 3, Vidag, and people don't know what a Vidag is. You don't see very many of those on TV, so I'm not even going to tell you what it is until the book comes out because
I'm
you
gonna
don't
look it
see.
up. Damn it.
You're going to now. People are going to now, but don't. Hey, I'm coming, so don't take my idea. A Vidag. See, people don't know what a Vidag is. And that's where I go. I dig into my bag when I bring these books out.
No doubt, man. I'm here for that.
Hey, that's
And I wake up in the middle of the
night.
night. To answer the writer's block question, another thing that happens is I'll wake up in the middle of the night. I dream stuff. And dreams are so abstract, but perfectly imperfect. They'll be abstract as hell, but they make perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get up before you forget that dream,
Right.
you always forget your dreams like immediately when you wake up. If you don't, so I'll have a notepad by the bed, my phone. I'll write that down, or I'll get right out the bed and I'll go and I'll run off, 4, 5, 6 pages, just trying to keep that idea. Yeah, but you never know what's going to come. So it takes me about 3 to 6 months to write a draft
That's what's up.
for a book. Yeah, so this
Cool.
this is the first time I've been like it's more of like first it was like I'm gonna write a book, and the second was like okay I'm gonna write a good book, a good novel, and now it's like I have a responsibility to continue to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's doing she just did her 11th published book, so it's one of those things like
I want 10. I want 10. Yeah, but I also the difference now between my first book and now is like I feel I have a responsibility to deliver a quality product to develop the brand and and the standard is the standard.
absolutely.
So I delete a lot. Thank you guys so much.
No problem. We about to get into the topic.
Let's do it.
So what we talking about tonight, we just gonna jump right into dreams are the journeys of a soul. Okay.
I like that, I will.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. So listen, Sippers, y'all been tuned in tonight with us while we had our special guest,
Right
Buddha's main man there. So he is an author, and he specializes in horror stories,
horror fiction.
Horror fiction.
And so you can find him at D.E. Westbrook Author. The third author, or just D.E. Westbrook Author?
D.E. Westbrook Author.
Okay.
D.E. Westbrook Author.
You'll find him on his social media platforms,
and
his preference is to go to
iuniverse.com. That's just the direct sales. That's just direct place to get. You can get it anywhere. You can get it Barnes and Noble, Amazon, Books A Million, any major bookseller, Nook, Kindle. I do have ebooks. It's not just paperback or hardback. I have ebooks. You can go to Amazon. You can go anywhere to get it. I just like to send people to the more direct source. It tends to come in the mail faster, and it's just better for me. My sales are reported faster. It takes like Amazon like 2 months to report my sales. So I just like people to go to iUniverse and get the book. D. Westbrook III. On Facebook, you can get me. Tales of Avernus. I have 3 pages on Facebook. The Silent, the Shoe Tree, and Vidag. And there's promo videos on there. There's fan films on there. So if you want to know what the story, if you're interested in what the story is, or the plot, or the characters, there's fan films on the Facebook pages. Okay. So if you search Tales of Avernus and you go to the Facebook page, there's videos on there that kind of tell the story and the plot and give you kind of like a movie trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's movie trailers for each book on Facebook. It actually, up to like 500-600 views right now. So I like them. They're pretty good.
Interesting. Thank you.
But yeah,
What's
go
your
check it
final
out.
thoughts for your?
I'm here for it, man.
For
I'm
your
ready to get into this thing, man.
Let's do it.
all
Do I,
right.
do I get to stay for the topic?
Oh yeah, man, you
Okay.
good, man.
All right.
You
Let's
ain't
do it.
gotta go home. You ain't gotta go nowhere. You
All
got
right.
your drink replenished.
Yeah, that got me going now. I'm about to hit my black here in a minute.
Oh, do
Be great.
you like.
Yeah.
You good. I may mute you from time to time if there's, or you can mute yourself as needed. Okay.
Just mute me. I've been drinking. I start talking too much. Just mute me.
No, I won't mute you just in case there's any additional feedback. It's just for audio purposes.
Okay, that works.
No stress, no strain.
So what we talking about, baby?
What we talking about? What we do? What it is? So right quick, like, so tonight, feeling unappreciated.
Oh, okay.
I mean, who wanna feel unappreciated?
So what's the real question, baby? Does a good deed goes unappreciated worthless?
I mean, it's not necessarily worthless per se. However, if you're doing something over and over again and there's no type of reciprocity or nothing that no give and take, eventually you're gonna start feeling some kind of way.
Okay.
I mean, if it's just like you want sex. No, I'm just.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk your shit. Yeah, I want sex. What?
And I don't give it to you. But you do all the things. You do all the things that hey, you deserve sex.
Man invented the wheel for sex.
You ain't lying. And the light bulb.
Everything. Shelter, clothes,
like,
all that.
You're gonna start probably withholding something or doing less of something.
Okay.
If I'm not giving you, like, it's not like it's a requirement because I don't like it. I don't want it to be a chore, but it's got to be. There's something that's happening, or I don't, I mean, but eventually, I just say you're probably gonna stop doing all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
All the stuff.
What you got, Dee? What you got? Before I slide in.
You talking about a good deed?
A good deed that goes unappreciated is worthless to you.
It's not a good deed if you expect appreciation. It's self-serving, right?
Yeah.
If I do something for you because I want to thank you from you or for you to appreciate it, it's not a good deed. It's self-serving.
Yeah.
A good deed is something that you appreciate yourself. That's a good deed. You want to put that out into the world. That you want to put that energy into the world. You want to bless somebody else today.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good deed. Whether they appreciate the blessing or not is irrelevant.
Because like one thing I think too is
that's my opinion.
It's hard. Goddamn, it's hard sometimes. It can become a hard position to be in. But as I've gotten older, more seasoned, okay, I've come to the realization that although I may put my good deed into this one person or in this place, my karma comes from other places. And I'm probably going to miss the reciprocity because I'm putting so much energy into why is it not coming back from this area.
I hate karma. Karma is justice without the gratification.
Yeah.
You might get your karma, but I never know about it.
Let me slide in. Because I shouldn't have let him go first because he
Go.
took my whole point. But
Nah, see,
I'm with caveat to that.
hey, great minds think alike.
So I'm gonna try to mix both of y'all in, right? Together so we can get it together. So I'm saying so a good deed that goes unappreciated is worthless. I see where they can say that, and I see exactly what he's saying. Like you do a good deed for yourself, not for the gratification of others, right?
Right.
But however, while you're doing that good deed, right? Mm-hmm. And people showing their ass, you happen to go back and look at those receipts.
Because they're ungrateful.
There you go.
They make you
and
mad.
That can change that good deed mentality and manifest it to something different.
No, they just get one.
One time.
They just get one good deed. You ungrateful. When you show me you're ungrateful, you get one good deed. You know, if you ain't gotta thank me, you ain't gotta praise me, you ain't gotta, none of that stuff. But if you show ungratefulness, then I'm not going to continue. No one's going to continue doing great deeds. Even your parents will stop doing things for you if you show ungratefulness.
Right.
So, but if I do a good deed, like y'all doing a good deed for me, and I'm grateful. I don't, even if I never said thank you to either one of you, which I am and I do, but even if I never did, the fact that I'm grateful for the opportunity just to be on your podcast is gratifying to y'all, and it makes that good deed worth it. Now, if I was here on a whole different vibe, thinking I'm too cool for school, then y'all would be like, okay, well, we're not having him back again. You know what I mean? Like, he was a jerk or he was ungrateful, even though you were trying to do a good deed and you weren't expecting a thank you. You're doing your podcast. You want, interesting content. You know what I mean? So I think if you do a good deed for somebody, you do it because that's who you are.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Not because you want to thank you or you want a return on your investment.
That's kind of where I had to get. I had to get to a point, just because, again, it came with maturity and experience and just life that you do these things because, it's like, oh, that's my friend or, we're cool, and then it's like, then one day it's like, wait a minute, who the hell gonna help the helper? So it's like, you know what? Instead of me cutting everybody off, let me just focus. Let me just cut this person off because it's not everybody's fault. Should not have to pay the price for that person or those people.
I feel it, man. I feel what you're saying 110%. But you said something earlier. We talked about reciprocity, right? Who doesn't love reciprocity?
Nobody helps the helper.
I know.
Right? Even even if you're like an empath, right? And you happen to have this sixth sense and somebody else is in trouble, and you call them to check on them because that's who you are.
Yeah.
But nobody checks on you.
Nobody. I can go missing. My phone wouldn't ring. So look, there's two kinds of people. There's alphas and there's omegas, right? And if you're an alpha, then you take care of the omegas. You protect the pack. But you don't depend on the omegas to help you when you're in danger. It's your job as the alpha to protect the pack. You can't rely on the omegas. When the battle comes, that's your job. So if you lose, you lost. Some people can't fall off. Like when I fall off, I disappear.
Right.
I don't go asking for help. I don't, go begging this and that. I vanish until I'm back.
Right.
I mean that in theory, what you're saying is totally absolutely right?
Yeah.
But then in today's society, a lot of people can't put up with that.
They hate the alpha. They hate, especially black male alphas. They want to demasculize us. They want to feminize us and put us on TV and dress us and just make our whole culture just self-destructive. They don't like black male leaders. and I don't want to get into a whole race thing about this, but but like I've been complaining about it for years, watching TV shows, and there's always the the black male represented on the TV show. Either he's the validation of the main character, it's like the best friend or the neighbor, the work buddy that makes the guy cool because he has a black friend, or he's like, or homosexual, or like
They're
or
so
just
small.
he's weak, he's scared. You know what I mean? Like we're not portrayed on television and in the media.
You're right. You're right. But then it also goes with us as individuals choosing to take the money to play that role.
I agree with that.
You know what
I
I'm
agree
saying?
with that. I agree with that.
Because
It's like
we stood together and said, no, we're not going to be looked at in that light. You know what I'm saying? We got enough clout and avenues in our own black businesses to make us look how we want to look.
no, they'd find the assassin. What did Ice Cube call it? The Negro assassin. They
Ooh.
they would find one to play
Ooh.
whatever role they
There's
would play.
somebody out there.
They would find one to play whatever role they want, and
Exactly.
they don't need you. They don't need you. You're replaceable. You ain't Will Smith. We can get rid of you. Like you be out the business tomorrow. You have a hit movie, whatever, and we'll find somebody that does almost what you do and back them with enough money that people believe they're better than you.
Because they want what they want, they're gonna get
Yeah,
it.
they're going to go get it.
So where's the person that helped us as a culture recognize that this is happening?
Right here, talking.
That's it. See, because we got to start changing that narrative, right?
Real talk, real life.
We
got people.
We got to really start.
We have a platform. Like me and my books, I put strong black male characters in my book. My books are female driven. Like the main characters of my books are women. It's a lot of women. Like my main character, Roasting Cage, she's a Creole female, New Orleans, Louisiana. But the males in my book, they're men. The black males in my book are strong black men. Just because I get tired of seeing, and it doesn't mean I won't. I'm against it or alternate lifestyle. Hell, I have alternate lifestyle compared to most people, so I'm not against that at all. Do you? Whatever. But I feel like if I have a platform where I can shed a different light, there's enough of that stuff already in other places. Do you want to go see that and see that? Well, you can see that over there and over here. But if you come to me and look at my media and my creativity, I'm going to try to show black men in positions of strength and intelligence and leadership. And, they'll still have flaws and they'll still be black. They'll still be very black. You know what I mean? Like, they won't be whitewashed, but
they say nobody helps to help them.
Nobody helps to help
her. And it's like, so when you become the honorary helper and the designated helper, however you want to call it, it's like now you got to do everything you can to just sustain, but then it gets so draining. It can become overwhelming and draining because it's like, so I'm like I do what you like you said. I just come off the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go out. I don't want to do I may go we because I know we are a business, so there's gonna have to I gotta make sacrifices, But then I'll say, you go and you represent the business. You go be doing it, okay?
Yes.
I'm gonna be chilling.
And then I hit her with, are you sure you want me to do this? Because it can fade to black real quick.
Me and my friend, how we made decisions on what to do, we'd always say, this is another reason why I became a writer, we'd always say, what's the best story to tell? Like tomorrow, when we're talking about it, what decision will end up being the best story to tell? And that's what we went and did. That's how we made our decisions. Where we went, what we did.
What's the best story?
Yeah, what's the best?
I would have thought about it. I just did.
What's gonna make for the best story to tell tomorrow? So we'll do that because that'll be we'll laugh about that tomorrow, or we'll
We're
cry
gonna be
about it.
legends tomorrow. We're
Yeah.
gonna be legends.
Yeah, sometimes I might have to coach him like, okay, now listen, you're going to be doing this. Make sure you do that. Everything else, go be great. Like,
Yeah, go be great.
because
Right.
I don't want to constrict his greatness,
Man.
but I need to make sure I put these top 3 things on your brain.
Yeah.
Number 1, you got a whole woman at home. No.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
Hey,
Shit,
fail
shit
forward.
real.
You got to fail forward. You make effort mistakes. If you go 100, you go 100 and make a mistake, I can take it. But if you're going half-ass and make a mistake, then what are you doing?
I'm just saying. So once I lay out, I'm not going. They gonna ask you where I'm at. Okay. So here's the story. I'm on a mental break. She or whatever. I don't really care as long as you don't kill me.
All I say, she checked that.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
Right. If you get me.
Get me.
So right, so now I'm like, okay, now you make me proud. Like,
I'm really check out.
He's just like an energizer bunny. And I'm like, no, first of all, we both gonna sit down somewhere. We're gonna say no, and we're gonna regroup, and we're gonna get it together because we're getting to be in our season days. And we need all that. Okay, so when people see us, they'll be like, you how old? Yep. What I'm saying?
I'm older than you and look younger and still run faster. I'm playing corner. I'm playing corner at 40, Buddha. You know that. Yeah, I'm out there at 40 playing corner, bro.
Hey, I'm out there linebacker over 40.
Man, and them kids line up. They coming at me like, Westbrook, I'm about to do this and that. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Like, you know me. Yeah. I don't even know your name. And you coming at me, and I'm 40. You're 20.
Hey, I can't wait till you come back, man, so we can hang out more, man.
Hey, I came home nice, so I'm coming back mean. So you heard it.
No problem. Hey, it is what it is. Can anybody give us an example of a time where you got pissed off or for doing something for somebody and it didn't quite go over the way you thought it should? You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be running my mouth, but if you're asking me, are you asking me?
I'm asking everybody who's here.
Oh, well, does anybody have family?
Boy, you speaking to the choir for everybody who listens.
Your family don't appreciate anything you do. They don't. They think that is the epitome of what you're talking about. Like your family just expects it, And then on top of that, they may say thank you or whatever, but don't want to be too grateful because they be like, you want to hold that over my head, Your family expects you to do it.
I really am thankful and highly fortunate that that's not the dynamics of my family.
It's not? Well, you are the 5%.
I mean, seriously, like, really?
Oh, you wasn't supposed to see that. Look straight.
No. Everybody in my family do make sound effort, like to show appreciation in some shape or fashion.
In their own way.
Like
in their own way.
And I mean, but it's the individual. It's always going to be individualized. But as a whole, solid. Like we go on. If something is needed, they're coming together, and it's because that's the culture of my, how we were rooted. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you what I said earlier about helping too much or too little.
Oh.
When you help too much.
Now we get
all your family members.
Because as a team, we're gonna collectively say we're not gonna do this, or you're gonna do this by yourself, and you're gonna have to go out there and do this. But low key, we done all went in a huddle, and we're like, if
we're gonna catch them somehow,
we're gonna catch them. There's a net.
Yeah.
But we're gonna insist that everybody, but we gotta stay in that huddle, and we gotta be like, don't do it.
Yeah.
but there is a net. We will net for the person, you know.
I can dig it.
He knows that. I don't know why he tripping.
No, I'm just saying, you know, everybody see their family the way they see their family, right?
Your
I love
family
my
got the
family.
answers. They got the answers for everybody's lives but their own.
No, they
Listen,
it ain't.
I love her family. I ain't gonna take that away from her. Some cooking motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure they're gonna call me.
You said it's a cookie motherfucker.
Our favorite person.
Hey, listen, I love them all. She can't have her listen. She gonna hear me say I love them.
Yeah. Hey, I love my family too. My family's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm
gonna give my spiel. Like,
yeah.
So to piggyback off what you said about family and then kind of help you out as well on what you said was growth, right? Mm-hmm. So they always known you to be the certain person that you were growing up, right? Mm-hmm. But they don't ever take into account that you can evolve to be a greater or higher being. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So they always stick you in the box that you always was in at the beginning, not saying that you can't transform. They don't ever see that transition.
They stick you in the box and they view you in a position to give them the most control over you.
I like the way you went there.
Yeah. They keep you in that place that gives them either air of superiority or gives them control. Mm-hmm. They're not going to acknowledge anything that you do, especially if it's like, you know, an older sibling or something or an older relative. They're not going to put you in a position where now like you're the adult and they're the child, or you're the dominant and they're, you know, they're going to whatever. You're still a kid to me. You're still my son. You're still this. You know what I mean? Like you're still, no matter what you do, you can go off and be a billionaire and you come home, your mama's still your mom.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there's always going to be boundaries and limitations, and just out of pure respect, you know. However, you know, I'm just using myself. That's I can't really talk about nobody else but myself. I know that I was the kid growing up where I was kind of that outgoing, always charismatic, and you know,
everybody was your friend.
Pretty much. I made friends. Yeah. But the crazy thing is, I didn't know I was an extrovert until I, you know,
an extrovert.
I'm not introverted at all.
I'm the introvert.
I'm the introvert.
Like I am the out. You know, I was. I'm not that person. You know, but for a while, I was very to myself. I like to do my reading. I used to do the creative writing. I like the Pippi Longstocking, like the all that fantasy stuff. You know, I ran the track. I played the basketball. I just did all the stuff. You know, so I was always kind of like, but I'm the oldest sibling, so it's like I didn't really have nobody to look up to. I was being looked up to. You know what I mean?
You were the standard.
Right. And then I'm the second oldest grandchild. So but I became like the honorary matriarch of the cousins.
Yeah.
So it was like, I just kind of there was a role. So I played my part. You know what I'm saying?
You owned it. You have to own that. When you're put in that situation, you got to own that.
But I didn't know I was in it until I was in the middle of it, in the thick of it. And then it was like, oh, but so of course when I go off the trail, I start scribbling. I'm like, look, I'm gonna be good, but I'm gonna be an honest sinner, huh?
Oh, you like that? You better coin that too, but trademark that shit quick.
I'm on fire. I don't know.
Like, you know, so it wasn't as I started getting more seasoned and becoming more in tune with who I embrace who I am, and they're like, oh, she good in her skin. And so they let me be in my skin. Like, you know, it wasn't no trying to conform me, thankfully, you know, because I always had respect. You know what I'm saying? As long as because look now, I'm 45 years old.
You told them that?
Yes. She 45.
What? I'm 42.
So it's like, what she, you know, now out of respect, you gonna give me some and I'm gonna give you some, and then in the middle we're gonna either agree to disagree or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm codependent on what you want from me. That's
at all. I agree.
And that's what make or break the situation. When you allow the behavior and the culture to be cultivated into the codependency, that's where they have input on controlling the narrative of your direction, and then that too much that they don't acknowledge and accept your growth. And so now you don't feel that appreciation, because you're feeling like, well, look, I'm doing my thing, you should at least acknowledge that, recognize that. But then they're like, well, you always gonna fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
But you're high on the totem pole though. You sound like you're pretty high on the totem pole of your family though. Like you just said that you're up there like honorary matriarch.
I'm in the middle. I'm on the
But honorary matriarch, I mean, you in the council. I mean, you help make some rules.
Yep.
Like you're on the council. So you're setting. So you're kind of creating the culture a little bit. So you can influence your family to handle things and differences, agreements, the way that you want to. To piggyback on also what you said about like the self-assurance thing. So I'm a big like Nirvana fan.
Oh, I like it too.
Yeah, and Kurt Cobain has a line in one of his songs, and he says, "Self-assured is a dirty word." People don't like self-assured people. They want you to be like humble, almost like I'm going to fail. They don't want you to be like, I can do it, or don't worry about it, I got it, or I can handle it, or I'm unafraid, or they want to cast you as arrogant or conceited or cocky. And me, like playing with me and against me, I try to walk that line between being cocky and confident and arrogant. There's a line there that you have to walk.
Yeah, you got to toe that bit.
Yeah, you got to toe it. Because if you a sheep, the wolves are going to eat you. So you have to, so I walk that line like I respect you, but I don't fear you, and I'd rather starting off, and I don't know about family dynamic, but like in the sports world, the competitive dynamic, I want your fear first before your respect.
Yeah.
Like you'll fear me first, and then the respect will come as a result of the fear.
I think piggybacking off what you're saying, man, I think the respect comes once your body of work has been proven through time.
Yep.
If we're talking about flag football, you should always try to go for the jugular as long as you play.
Just in life, if you're that guy, I told one of my friends this. Narush. We talked about that, and I told him one night, if you the guy that's out there running your mouth, but you ain't making plays, ain't nobody gonna follow you.
Right.
You're just gonna be just a guy just running your mouth. And that's the same way in life, though. If you just running your mouth and not making moves and not making business and not making other people's lives around you better. Because when you're an alpha, your responsibility is not just yourself. In fact, you're probably last. Like you're responsible for a lot of other people's well-being and happiness and they're going to judge the kind of person that you are based on how well you do that. Based on the quality of their lives and your effect on their life. As a man, we were raised like that. We're raised to provide, food, shelter, all of that.
Oh, sorry.
But but you understand though, like as a man, what's the saying? Only people that I love unconditionally are children and dogs. Like men, hey, if you ain't doing this and this and this, like you said, I might not give you sex tonight, or you might not get this, or you might not get that. See, don't do that. By the way, don't do that. Don't use sex as like a punishment.
No, you should not use.
Don't turn your strength into a weakness. Don't turn your strength into a weakness.
I would definitely encourage people to not use it.
Yes.
As a weapon, I would say don't do it.
Because it is a weapon.
It can be a weapon, but
it is a weapon. It is one. Not that it can't.
It is a laughing, but you gotta know how to.
Women are the most
Get in the
powerful
middle.
creatures on the
I've seen
planet.
people lie, cheat, and steal for
Lie, cheat, steal. Women are the most powerful creatures on the planet. Like they make wars happen. Hell in Troy. What do you? You're a president of the United States. What's the last voice you hear before you go to sleep at night?
the
Your
wife.
wife. Your wife. Women are powerful. Women are behind the scenes, run the entire world. And we don't even know it, but they do. Every powerful man loves a woman. Every powerful man in history loves a woman. Has died
Started
for
off
a
with a
woman.
horrible one too.
War. Every single one.
And
Even the bad ones. You look at any great man of power throughout the beginning of time. There has been a woman there with them that would probably convince him to do whatever the hell she want him to do. And the end.
that's not race specific.
No. That has nothing to do with it. That's primal. That's just primal survival. Darwinism, survival of the species. You know. And if women ever figure that out,
I think they have. It's just a matter of how to steer and manipulate and finesse the
finesse.
She just took a shot at me because that's one of my words, finesse. And I do the spirit figures when I say it. Here she go.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
You start looking alike and doing alike when you be together for so long. It just becomes that's the influence that you have with each other.
Yeah,
but
as you should.
Overall, when it comes down to your good deeds and them going unnoticed and unappreciated, how does it make you feel? In closing, I know I'm going into the final thoughts on that. I think it's probably going to stem. I look at it so much on a deeper surface because, depending on an individual's upbringing, being a product of their environment is how they handle crisis and circumstances, and so they generally respond a certain way based on the behavior and the culture that they've been rooted in. So, if they never saw giving good, doing the thing, without something being done in return, they don't look at it as you should be doing something out of the goodness of your heart,
Yeah.
And then to draw a line, because you can draw an imaginary line, which or have your limitations to freaking say no.
Yeah.
Or you ask me for 100. How about I give you 25 and you figure it out? Like I'm only going to give what I'm willing to not receive back, And so, but because I care about you and I'm concerned about whatever, I am still going to do my part because that's what I'm compelled to do because that's the nature of me. But what I'm not going to do is allow for you to become codependent on me always saving your ass.
Yeah.
So
That's the woman. That's the woman in you talking. Because as a man, we can't say that.
You sure can.
You can't say that as a man. You can't say you can't be dependent on me, or you can't expect me to be there to save your ass. That's my job as a man. So you really can't say that. And if you say it too much, people looking at you like, well,
you're not a real man.
There you go.
I get it. Trust me, I get that. But I would say, what have you created? What environment as the man? Like, okay, let's just say, hypothetically, and I don't want to go too far, but hypothetically, I don't work, and he takes care of all the bills.
Okay.
And he now is in a position where he can't really do it. So, you're gonna be the provider and things like that. But why are you not saying, babe, maybe you should try to maybe get a part-time job, or like that's not. I'm not gonna feel like you less than a man because first of all, I should really want us to be in a better position. But that's me. That's a me thinking. I don't want us to be. I don't want to lose this lifestyle. So if I gotta get even if I gotta get a part-time job until you get back on your feet to where we need to be, I need to go do that.
But in that same aspect, there's some things that shouldn't have to be said, right?
But if you created this platform for me to be this way,
well, I mean, like, but you know, if you
I'm gonna sit back and let you be the man.
But then if a man sit back, hold on now. If a man sit back and let you be who you are and don't do and help you in times you need help, then you looking at him as what? He's worthless.
There you go. So I got 2 points on that. The first one is we was raised in the era of got to have J-O-B if you want to be with me. We was raised like that. And nothing going on but the rent. We was raised on that. Right? So look, she knows. She started dancing when she heard him say, she know. So, and secondly, so I was talking to one of my friends about this, and I was saying, you know, a man can be a surgeon, right? And he walks into Denny's. He'll marry the waitress in a Denny's. He'll see the most beautiful woman he ever saw in a Denny's. He's a neurosurgeon, and he'll marry the waitress. Now, if a woman is a neurosurgeon and walks into that same Denny's and sees the most beautiful waiter she ever saw, she's not gonna marry him.
But
you're a waiter.
We work at Denny's.
But you can break my back off.
All day. All day. I was sugar mama you, but I can't take you nowhere.
I can't take you nowhere.
Somebody gonna add what you do.
But a lot are actually.
You might have to quit your job.
And nurturing these blue collars.
Okay.
It's a weird balance out there in the world.
Yeah. You got any final thoughts?
So, Babi, let me ask you though: if you were a doctor, would you date a waiter from a restaurant? And he was your age. He was your age. He wasn't like a younger. It wasn't no cougar thing. He was your age.
It would see. It's situational for me. Probably no. However, I would be intrigued, especially if I frequent this particular establishment and I'm seeing him. I'm telling you.
If you did, I'm willing to guess that it would be because you have been disappointed by somebody you thought was your equal career-wise.
That's not unusual.
You know, and then you might be like, you know what, I'm gonna give somebody else a chance. Because
actually appreciative
of what you can do.
And actually got some tenacity and some grit in him to go out there and
my bad. Get the lottery. Get the lottery. Get the lottery, booty.
Them jewels be hidden sometimes.
Oh, baby, why you talking about me so much?
It just be that little pebble that's in there, but it's hidden because there's so many big rocks
in front of
then you be so attracted to the big rock, you forget that pebble made a rock.
That pebble may be a diamond, and you want a big rock, and that pebble is a diamond.
That's it.
Just saying. So he might have been there. He might be just in transition because he had a divorce or his parents or anything. That may be his second job.
Okay.
So I got to talk to the brother.
Basically, she got to talk to you. Why are you a waitress at this?
Yeah.
Explain to me your path, and if it's good enough, I might give you some.
She gonna make sure everything else works, and then she gonna come at you.
Yeah.
Is this all you want to do?
Yeah.
You want to own a Denny's one day? Is that what you're trying to do to find out what's going on?
Sound like you're trying to mold him in her own image. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just trying to see what he got in and what.
Well, if you're having that conversation, you already decided you probably want to give him some. So all he can do is talk himself out of it at that point.
That's it.
Bingo.
So let me slide in my final thoughts. I'm sliding my final thoughts. So, based on the conversation about good deeds and going unappreciated, it's a real tough thing for me. You know, I kind of being transparent. I kind of grew up. I had a mom and a dad. You know what I'm saying? But I always looked up to my dad, and I don't think I ever was good enough. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because of how he was raised, and the stoic part of him wouldn't allow me, in his mind, to be great, even if I was great, as we talked about earlier. So, aligning myself, I'm always going hard, and I'm always looking for that validation, right? Good or bad. It stems back from not getting that validation when I needed it as a child. So this is me being.
I'm proud of you saying this out loud.
This is just
That's tough, bro.
This is me being who I am and being true to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it matters. Truthfully, it does. Now I do whatever I do for people because that's who I truly am. But deep down inside, I truly want you to understand it came from me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just me being honest. Yeah. I slide back.
Do you get your feelings hurt a lot though from that?
Huh?
You get your feelings hurt a lot from that point of view?
Oh, exactly, I do, man, because that's one thing I've learned. Like, people don't think like you. Right?
Yeah, you can't expect you from other people.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't. But then sometimes you get it, and then there's other times that you do. And the times that you do, that helps me reflect on me, the inner man. What why am I this way? Or what can I do to be better so I don't feel this way? You see what I'm saying? So it's just me going through my own transition as far as being emotionally intelligent, right? That's what it is. So I'm just being honest about me.
No, as you should. No, I see that.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Especially
that's
when you talk about that transition of going through the different phases of transitioning. So, could be that moment.
I've learned to not expect people to pat you on the back. Like, you're not going to applaud a fish for swimming. So if you're doing what you want to do, as in your heart and the kind of person that you are, some people, like me and you, for example, Buddha, we played against each other more than we played with each other. And I know how I was back then playing. So our games were probably hot, probably competitive, probably a lot of shit talking. But the fact that I probably came over to your team, not just you, but probably your team at some point, and sat down and talked to y'all, person to person, man to man, not as competitors, but as people, put a seed in you that got me here today.
Yeah.
But I probably went over there with the intention like, man, we just beat the hell out of them. Let me talk to their quarterback and tell him to do this more, or tweak their defense, or give them a tip. That's what I usually try and do. If I was talking to you,
I hated your ass until you played with me.
Most people did.
When I played with you, then I understood. Okay, but see, I'm the same way, so I get it. But you can't get it when you cross that line. Like I tell all the guys before the game, I'm cool with you now, but when that whistle blow, I give 2 fucks.
I give 2 fucks. I give 2 fucks about you. I'm one of people, if you play against me all the time, you probably don't like me that much. But if you play with me, you fucking love me. If you play with me, because I go through a wall for you, whether you suck, you right or wrong, I'm going to be right there with you if you're on my team. But if you on the other side, people.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm coming. So,
That's an interesting thought. Will Lang said before we go out, Peggy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He said, "What happens when the hero realizes he's being made to be the villain?" That's a tough one.
I have an answer for that. Answer for that. A great hero lives long enough to become the villain. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go back to flag football on this, because I think football is Michael Coven for everything. Sport, not flag, but just the sport of football is life to me. and situations, people managing and stuff. But when we started out, we weren't very good. You know, our first team was worst team ever, and we were getting beat, and we weren't very good. And heroes emerged to save us from that. Me, you know, Mark Frazier, we emerged, and we were heroes. We were like, man, you're saving these terrible players and giving us wins and confidence and stuff. And then what you know, the undisputed villains. We were villains. I mean, by the time you met me, we were villains. You know what I mean? But we were heroes to some. You know, growing up, we helped people. You know, I went and got the best players off of bad teams and saved them. Said, hey, come play with us. I didn't recruit the ballers. You know, I went and got my own guys, beat the ballers.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah, I went and got my own guys. But, you know, where I was a hero in the early days, trying to bring us up to the competitive level, once we got to the top, you become a villain.
Yep. All eyes on you. They want to figure you out.
Yeah,
why
you definitely become villainized after you get to a certain level.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you say, that fear.
Every hero becomes a villain at some point. Even Superman became a villain at the end. Like every hero becomes a villain at some point because you're just too strong, and people fear you when you're too strong. And when they get afraid of you,
that's why I love comic book, boy.
It teaches lessons.
They give you so much input on just different perspectives, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, tell them again. Okay, you ready?
Hey, I'm gonna have to read that book, bro.
Hey, bro, it's fire and it's violent as hell. D.E. Westbrook, the third author, Tales of Avernus book series. You can buy it on any major bookseller. You can hit me on Facebook, Pinterest, iUniverse.com. Book 1, The Shoe Tree. Book 2, my new title just came out 2 months ago. My first full-length novel, The Silent. Violent as hell. Great story. Like I said, I write horror for horror fans, by a horror fan. So it ain't going to be, people falling down and tripping over their high heels and all that. It's going to be real life violence and a great story, like a tremendous story, in-depth, multi-layered story.
And let's get back to your shout-outs back there.
Oh, yeah. Let me get these back one more time. So if you hashtag Tales of Avernus, go on your Facebook, hashtag Tales of Avernus. You'll find all my stuff on there. I got the Commodity Design Group. That's my family here. They do great work as far as custom designs. Cigar Noir is a cigar club here, National Cigar Club. You can get on Instagram. John Tom's Barbecue Sauce, fire, #1 barbecue sauce in Indiana. And of course, my homeboy, my letter's falling off. Supreme Flag Football League. If you're in Orlando, you look for #1 league in the nation to play in. My homeboy Tone, Supreme Flag Football League. So John Tom's Barbecue, Cigar Noir, Fire, OG Bobby Johnson Cigar Club, and then Commodity Design Group. The best in the business when it comes to doing logos, clothing line, t-shirt, custom clothing, whatever you need done, advertising, they take care of it.
That's what's up.
All right.
And thank y'all so much. When you got friends or just peers don't root for you, strangers do. So when you got peers that reach out and say, hey, we got a platform to get you out, man, I really appreciate that, man. Like, you guys are awesome. So please, y'all need anything from me, please hit me up. I am grateful, and I do appreciate the good deed that y'all did today. Yeah, anytime, man. It was a blast.
When you drop, man. When your new book drop.
My new book, Tales of Avernus, book 3, BIDAG will be out next summer.
Oh. Okay.
And then I'm working on another title to come out the year after that, Rebel Red. So we'll talk about that on another day. But
You got some screenplays up too, or you still
uh,
doing screenwriting?
I'm still doing that, but right now I'm just focusing on the book 3, trying to get that out with the deadline my publisher wants me to keep. So
Okay.
trying to get that out. But if you go to my Facebook pages, like I said, I have movie trailers or not, kind of story trailers on the Facebook pages.
All right.
So you can kind of get the plot and get an idea what the story's about. And top the books, man. They're good.
What I'm gonna do on that?
Leave
I'm gonna go
reviews.
to your page. I'm gonna go to your Facebook page. I mean those pages, and I'm gonna grab those videos and I'm gonna post them on our page so we can get you more.
My man.
Exposure.
Hey, I appreciate that, and I'll do the same, man. And I'll post your podcast on all my stuff, and I appreciate that.
We believe
Super
in
good.
reciprocity.
Yeah, because I get a lot of traffic too. Not much job, but I get some traffic too. So I'm more than happy to repost and whatever you guys do. I'm a fan now, so I'm tuning in and I'm watching. I'm seeing y'all on season 9. I didn't even know, like season 9.
Well, generally seasons be like a year, but our seasons are 12 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still a long time.
12. We had to. I was like, no, we're not gonna do what we did the first time. But when you getting out there, you just got to jump out there. You just gonna
so 12 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Oh, so times 9. Yeah, y'all doing your thing. So yeah, that's a lot of shows.
Yep.
Yeah. So keep going. Keep going. Cheers to y'all. Cheers to y'all. Amazing. I had no idea you had a podcast, so you held out on me. You knew more about me than I knew about you.
Listen, man. Like I don't. When I'm on the football field, we talk. But if you know me personally, people know me personally. They get to that point to know me personally, then they understand. Like that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay.
Once they understand, you ain't got to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Look, y'all. I appreciate everybody being on tonight, but listen, before we close this show,
Here we go.
This is a proud mom moment.
And
Oh my God.
I'm gonna step to the side so she can get on in this camera.
Yeah.
All right. Come on in here. Come on in here and talk your talk, young lady. You deserve it.
Y'all know
I want to wake up to money. I don't want to see the money. Oh, I thought we were singing Cardi B.
Okay.
I got myself a full-blown graduate. She is my baby girl. She is the last of my little. Oh, I feel a Honda in my sandala.
Oh Lord, she's going all the way in.
Emptiness.
Tomorrow, this baby won't co-walk. You wanna help?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Y'all can't see it, but let me see it. Can I make it bigger for the people in the bike? No.
What's that, Evans?
No.
I saw the green.
That's what she went to.
I saw the green.
No, get the other part for it, baby. For.
Oh, okay.
So
y'all just see the green. That's what it is.
We can help.
I saw the green. What high school?
Oh,
right.
orange green.
This is a Rose High Tiger. Okay.
Oh.
And I am her rival. I am a high Trojan.
You went to Jones? Graduated from Jones?
Graduate too. There
nice.
Evans High Trojan, class of 94. There will never be no more. Okay. But I am super proud and super excited. I did it. Look,
you did it. How about the person? How about the person next to you? She did all the work. You just supplied the money.
I was just the body. Just saying. Graduations be for the parents. Okay? It don't be for the child.
That is terrible.
High school graduations be for the parents. Okay? All of this belongs to the parent. And to know, it's not like I had a rough life. But I'm just saying, to know my story is to know that, I'm a proud mom. You know what
As
I'm
you should
saying?
be.
As I should be.
As
And,
you should be.
where I am in my now versus where I was in my then with my oldest. I have a 29-year-old, got a 24-year-old, and then my baby girl is 18 now, just turning 18 basically, and graduating this year. So this is like all about me.
Yeah, you all about you trying to get on the airline website. You got the empty nest. You trying to plan vacations and stuff now.
She been doing that.
I've been in training.
She been on Trivago this whole time. We've been on the show trying to figure out where that goes.
I done did 2 out-of-country excursions, preparing myself for the day that, because I waited a long time to be able to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got these. It's so. Woo!
How you feeling, man?
Me? I don't even know what they doing these days. No. Oh my.
Are they doing that? I don't. That's the nay. They don't do the nay no more, do they? That's the nay.
So how you feeling? How you feeling, man?
I'm geeked. You can't tell, but I'm geeked.
No, what's up?
Yeah.
I don't know who
you're gonna see tomorrow.
Who's most geeked?
It seems like the mama is, right?
You're not gonna be able to tell until tomorrow when I they're gonna be mad at me. They're gonna hold my diploma because I got to dance.
Okay.
It's going down. Man, I gotta know.
You gonna dance?
And you're gonna be like your seat directly across, I think so.
Man. Oh man!
If I look at the seating chart right, y'all like
tambourine.
Wait till they hand you the diploma before you dance, though, because I've seen people.
I told you need to get a pink poster so I know it's y'all.
Well, see, I know with the whole coronavirus and whatnot, they doing things.
We vaccinated.
I know that, but there's protocols and whatnot, and usually I would defy all regulations. However, I'm gonna be a civilized, honest sinner.
Hey, that's a new term. Hold on. I told you, boy. You better
keep that. Keep it.
I would be a civilized, honest sinner, and and I'm okay about that. You know what I'm saying? Because,
come on, now.
Oh
my goodness!
I'm trying not to cry.
Bring it on in. Take us home.
It's rough. So I appreciate you all for just being with me, on the eve of graduation and,
graduation eve.
and, having the platform to acknowledge my baby.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
I just needed to,
get it on out.
She's actually been my creative director before she decided to schedule her shift on our night of podcasting. But where the money reside, you know what I'm saying? So I can't stop the little thing getting the little coins. You know what I'm saying? She got to secure the bag, and at least she willing to get her own bag.
Mm.
There you go.
What can I say? I did something right.
Hey, you got 4 graduates. You're good. You're well.
So we on to new things on our journey. Just seeing what takes us next, where we go next, and then we'll be celebrating again about something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All right, y'all. I just wanted to share that, share that victory. And, I do have cash out.
Cheers.
She want to tell y'all her cash out.
I got cash out, Venmo, Zelle. I got it all. I take cash money. How the song go back in your days? Taking up with 99s in the 2000s.
Oh, Lord.
Inbox me the cash app.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord,
you gotta
she
get the
went there.
cash app, and you supposed to give me the information for the Amazon. So with her wish list stuff. So there we go.
We gonna post
All right,
that.
y'all.
Congrats.
You want me to post it, so I'll do that. All right, y'all. Until next week, same time, same energy. I appreciate the love. We appreciate the love. Sipping in Conversation with Buddha and Baby.
Oh, this is for the simples.
Yeah. We sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation.